Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And today we're going to talk about the always delusional Elle Duncan, who thinks the firing of Christie sides will stunt the potential development and growth of Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next videos. So,
Right.
Elle Duncan made some comments on her show, the Elle Duncan Show, about the firing of Christie sides. And she said, if the goal of every season, if you're looking at Indiana in particular, is to make the postseason after not making the postseason since 2016, and you also have to think about the development of the players. This is now another coach that Caitlin Clark. It's not true. This is just one coach for Caitlin Clark, but okay. You're talking about a team that really started to catch fire towards the end of last year, and now they're going to go through another coaching change. And for Aaliyah Boston, that's going to be your second coaching change, and that's the same thing for Caitlin Clark. That's false. This is Caitlin Clark's first coaching change, and Aaliyah Boston's first coaching change. She's been there 2 years, the same amount of time as Christie Sides. So she's incorrect on that. And she did go on, Rob. She said, you just wonder how much you're stunting their potential development or growth, or at least delaying it by bringing in a new regime.
Yeah, Mark. I mean, sides stunning the growth of the Fever players. I think she's got it reversed there. She stunted their growth as far as playing. She didn't realize, like until what like Ellie says, well, after maybe near almost 30 games into the season, she kind of figured out, oh, geez, maybe we should run the ball up the court and push the ball up the court. She started the growth not just of Caitlin Clark, but her whole team with this what you like to emphasize as dinosaur ball. So I mean, come on.
I could tell from game one that this coach was going to stunt the growth of Caitlin Clark that year, and it got worse as the season progressed. Now, they did do some of the up-tempo stuff after the Olympic break, and then they seemed to fall back again. And then they didn't even play it well. I don't think they played as well at the end of the season as they did after the Olympic break.
So, started the growth. I mean, she had no offense. She had no half-court offense. She had no half-court offense. She didn't know how to coach defense. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know if she got them into the playoffs, more like they got her into the playoffs.
Right. Well, she didn't develop Caitlin Clark's defense to the point that I thought was going to happen this year. I know Caitlin Clark had some bad habits on defense, and she still hasn't corrected them all. Her stance is bad. She's still too far off her person on the three-point line. Her person dribbles past her because of her poor stance and not sliding her feet. And I was hoping Christie Sides, who I was told was a defensive specialist, would correct those habits from Caitlin Clark, and she didn't. She also gave Caitlin Clark mixed signals on whether or not she had the green light to shoot. So she stunted her growth there. She confused her whether or not she's supposed to pass it into the post or whether she could do other things with it. She stunted their growth by not having any kind of flow on their offense and movement on their offense, Rob. And
right.
Aaliyah too.
Yeah, I can't believe this is why, how this analysis. I mean, she was a Clark hater from the beginning, Mark. She didn't like Caitlin Clark from the beginning. But then to jump on to make a pun to side with sides is really annoying.
Let's not talk about Caitlin Clark for once and just concentrate on Aaliyah Boston because she threw her in the mix. Rob, if you had Aaliyah Boston for 2 years as a coach, do you think that her footwork and how often she travels and her limited post moves would still exist if you were the head coach for 2 years?
No. Plus, I would have when she came out of shape this year, I would have been really pissed off. She would have been running a lot more, but she came into camp out of shape.
But so, in other words, Rob could have had Aaliyah Boston developed better in the 2 years. So I think Christie Sides actually held Aaliyah Boston back development-wise, in addition to Caitlin Clark and the entire team. But I'm just giving you an instance where I think Aaliyah Boston is a talented player. And she's not unathletic. I think Angel Reese does not look that athletic to me in terms of her movement, her coordination for the WNBA level, not for a typical person. Aaliyah Boston looks more athletic to me than Angel Reese. So I think she has the potential to have better offensive game than she actually does. Now, I know she shot 58% her rookie year, but her moves aren't that good. They really aren't.
And she passes better than Reese does. She's a passer. So,
right.
But yeah, exactly. The footwork you could see, and then also strengthening of the hand. She can't hold on to the ball when she gets it. Sometimes, it's like a hot potato for her. So, like you said, use some kind of grips or something to strengthen her hands.
Rob, if you look at her passing at the end of the season to the beginning of the season, it got a lot better. Why? Because she played with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark wasn't there the year before. So Christie Sides wasn't even developing Aaliyah Boston's passing. So she wasn't, and she didn't develop Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, I'm sure she learned some things from Christie Sides, but most of the time it looked like she was just holding her back by not letting Caitlin Clark play to her strengths. So I think she has this completely backwards, as you said. I think she's delusional. And yeah, sometimes coaches change does, affect the player's development, but only if the coach was a good coach. If the coach was a lousy coach, it doesn't affect their development. It held them back. That's just obvious, Rob.
It doesn't matter that she made the playoffs. I mean, it's how she coached the team, and that's why she got fired. So with Elle protecting her, she studied. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? She held her players back. Otherwise, if she hadn't, then why was she fired?
That's a good point, Rob. I don't have an answer.
right.
Well, let's put it this way: the president and possibly the GM, we don't know because she started like the day after Christie Sides got fired, obviously thought that she was holding the development of the team back because they actually put that. They wanted to maximize the potential of the team in the press release they had when they fired Coach Christie Sides. So that's obvious that they thought she was holding the team back. And Elle Duncan doesn't even know that Aaliyah Boston didn't go through 2 coaches already. And she's the one that keeps telling us we have to do our research and know our WNBA backwards and forwards. So please, can you stop with that?
Yeah, that was another. Yeah, that was the other point. Like, I believe you're wrong in what you just said. Miss research. Tell the fans to do research.
Right. I guess she had her mixed up with Alyssa Smith, who did have 2 coaches changes because she was there 3 years, but Aaliyah Boston didn't.
But Mark, the new president saw what most of everybody who was observing the Fever play. They saw that there was no development of the players. I mean, she had the whole thing after the Olympics, but as far as, like we pointed out many times in videos, there's no really development as far as the players' games. It was, like I said, it was holding back, and then until finally, like, oh, geez, maybe we should do this. As a coach, you kind of you experiment with things, but you can notice, like, right off the bat, should have been like, I got a star player. How am I going to use the star player? Oh, I have Boston. She's a good player. I got a shooter in Mitchell. How can I use her with this? No offense or anything, out of bounds, and then like we go back to substitution. You made the players were tired. So how's that helping the players?
Right. Well, it's not, but the only development was based upon what Caitlin Clark brought to the table, which is the offense that she was running at Iowa, partly that she learned from her coach, Lisa Bluter, in part that she developed her own in terms of her own particular unique style. And she brought that, and that's why the team developed, because they were able to implement the offense that she already knew how to run and liked to run into the team. And that's what happened. And the pick and roll got better because of Caitlin Clark. Now, she wasn't perfect at pick and roll when she got into the pros, but it got better as the year went along. We can give some credit to Christie Sides, but it wasn't that good when she started with Aaliyah Boston, which means Aaliyah Boston didn't learn the pick and roll properly her first year with Christie Sides.
Right, well, because she wasn't used to it. At South Carolina, they didn't run pick and rolls for her, so she had to learn how to do a pick and roll. And it's not that easy, Mark. It's not just going out there, okay, you stand here and you run your player off. No, you have to. It's the way you place your foot, where you set the pick, and how you roll. And also, it's also on the person who's dribbling the basketball how to use the pick that's being set for them. So it's a combination of 2 things, not just going out there and standing there like, okay, run your player off for me. Because if you're playing defense and you see the person just standing there, you're gonna be like, I'm not gonna run into them. I'm gonna go around them. That's what they did.
But I had just the exact opposite reaction that Elle Duncan has, who I think has bad takes. Let's put it this way. And she doesn't know what she's talking about half the time. And when Christie Sides got fired, I said, finally, I said, Creighton Clark's development won't be held back anymore. I can't wait till next year. And I think every Creighton Clark fan said that to themselves. So this is not like unique to me. So, and I think everybody's going to agree with that, except for Creighton Clark haters who saw her as a coach killer. And someone said, yeah, she's the coach killer of lousy coaches, which is a good thing.
I want somebody to point out, really, so we're talking about objective. Point out some things that Christie Sides did correct for her team. Did she back her players when something happened? No. She sat on the sidelines and watched her player wither on the floor and not even walk over to her, her star player. Please point out some things to me that would make me, if I was president, make me want to keep her as a coach.
I can't think of any, Rob. She had a little bit of chemistry after the Olympics. That's all I can think of. That's it. I ran out of stuff.
You ran out of superlatives there, Mark.
We've already gone over the negatives a million times, so I'm not even going to go over them. But I just ran out of things. That was about it.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so with the notification bell when you do. And join us for our live show every Monday, except for major holidays, 6 to 8 Eastern time. If you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.